Hey everybody, it's Josie and Cheyenne. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. And today we're going to do a fun little project. Now these hanging baskets are lined with coconut core. And normally they hang here. We're on our front porch today. And normally they hang on either side of the stairs to come up onto the porch. And we usually try to plant heat-loving plants in them because they face the west and they take incredibly hot afternoon sun. So this year we planted all of our tomato seeds, and I have an abundance of tomatoes for out in the garden, for our mineral tubs that we have lined up. I've showed you those before. All of those are prepared for tomatoes and peppers. If we're still working on our peppers, for our tomatoes, we're putting Jet Stars and Rutgers and beefsteaks in the garden, and they're looking beautiful. Those are going to be the tomatoes that we're mostly using for our canning projects. We hope to have a really good garden season this year. And yesterday they came out with a forecast for the summer for us. Of course, we know that things can change, but they think that we are going to have a cooler and wetter summer this year, and so we say amen. We hope that we have a lot cooler, over 100 degrees for multiple weeks out of the summer is a burden sometimes, and I know that we don't want to complain about the weather, but last year, my goodness, it got extremely dry. So we are hoping that the weather guys are right, weather gals, whomever did it, and that it is going to be a little cooler and what did they say? Unseasonably wetter, not like flooding or soggy, but wetter than average. And so we say praise the Lord to that, and we're looking forward to a good gardening season. And so we do have a lot of tomatoes for the mineral tubs as well. We've got Hillbilly, and we've got Kellogg's Breakfast tomatoes. Those are one of my favorite. Abe Lincoln's, Cherokee Purple. We're going to try again. I've got some beautiful plants that I grew from seed this year. Hopefully we can get a heavy harvest. I've done well with growing Cherokee Purple before, but never really got a lot of tomatoes, and I really love the taste of them. And we have a lot of different cherry tomato types. And so today what we thought we would do with these hanging baskets, one for each side, is we have some tomatoes that we got the seeds from We got the seeds from Totally Tomato, and these are yellow Tumbling Toms. Last year I had red Tumbling Toms. I actually thought we were going to get red this year, but we got yellow, no problem. I used to be just a red tomato person, but I have realized that the colored tomatoes have a lot of flavor, and so we're going to do the yellow Tumbling Toms, and they are an indeterminate tomato. Now, we're going to put these in here, and we're going to put probably about 3, maybe 4 tomatoes in here. Everything that I've read from them is they don't get real wide, but they cascade over the side, so there'll be a lot of there'll be room for each of the tomatoes to grow and hang over. They get about 20 inches long. We know that we will have to water these in the summertime every day because your containers dry out, of course, a lot faster than what your garden soil does, and so we will have to water these, and we will probably have to make sure that these are fertilized. And we're just going to have fun letting them grow here on the front porch. We think that it will be fun for us to watch grow, and for little Howie to watch grow. Rowdy, they'll be fun for him, but right now he could care less. But Howie's at the point where he's wondering about things, so we think it would be fun for him. And, for guests, just as a conversation starter, that we're actually country enough to grow tomatoes on our front porch. But we also are doing this just to show you that You may not, where you're at, be able to grow a big garden like what we are and have an abundance of things, but just to have some fresh tomatoes or lettuce or strawberries or all kinds of things that you can grow in hanging baskets there on your porch. If you know, maybe you're in an HOA or something that won't let you grow stuff in the ground. Well, what a fun alternative for you to be able to grow some tomatoes on your hanging pot. You know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and for you, that's your house plants, your flowers, and you know, surely they can't complain about that. And so these will produce big clusters. They hang over the side, and they will produce big clusters of 1 to 2 inch tomatoes. Like I said, they're indeterminate, and from the pictures, they just look absolutely beautiful, and I'm excited to try them. I think you might be excited to try them as well, just to see what we come up with. And so we're going to get these planted and get them watered in. Now our soil is damp. It's good. I can't remember the name of it, but it is good potting soil. And we're going to get these tomatoes in here, and we'll get them watered in and hang them in their spots, and we'll show you the progress down through the summertime and see if it was successful for us or if it was a bust and they were totally ugly and non-productive. But we're hoping for the best, and we're hoping that y'all stick with us and join us on our journey of growing these tomatoes in our flower hanging pots. So what we've got here are these core lined baskets. Now you don't have to have this kind of basket. You can have any hanging pot and grow your tomatoes in them. But I happen to have these, and so this is what we're going to use. And we've grown our little tomatoes. They started out in the little seed containers, the 72 cell, and then I put them potted them into these, and now they're ready for their new home. And so we're going to get these planted in and have some fun. So I'm just going to pull mine out of the container and get it right in. Now I have several in each of these. We made do with what we had, and I'm just going to very carefully tear these, not tear them, but you know what I mean, divide them. And I'm going to bury this in here. Now I'm going to take off these sides, and you may want to do this side, just the ones along this side. Just pinch those off. It won't hurt anything. And then bury your tomato. Just like that.
Like that?
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, they're not going to look all that impressive at first, but you wait until they start growing and cascading over the side, and they've got all those little tomatoes on there. You are going to be the talk of your neighborhood.
So you think that's deep enough, or you think that's deep?
I wouldn't go too far into the middle of the basket. I would stay, you know, along the edges here. Again, I'm just going to take my fingernail and pinch this one off right here. And I'm going to dig a little spot, and I'm just going to plant this little tomato right in there. All right, my little sweethearts. And I'm going to pull one more out.
Now when they grow, they may look like they got tomatoes.
Right.
Completely.
And you'll see that it's got a good little healthy system here. And I'm going to just pinch these little side shoots off. And when you do that, most of you probably already know that, but when you do that and you plant this in the soil, this is all going to root. And it's going to make your little tomato plant that much stronger. So we're going to get these in here. Get them planted in. And we'll get them watered in.
Oops, that came apart.
Now I also have some of these staples that I've used in years past to stake some of the plants that I have grown in these when they needed a little bit of help, and I have tucked in a branch or whatever just to give it a little bit of extra security, just to kind of pin it in there. I'm going to leave these on the side of my bucket, or my container. Cheyenne's got some as well. Okay, so now that we've got these planted, what we'll do is get these watered in really well. We will make sure that we keep them well watered throughout the summertime and fertilized, and keep an eye on them. And we will bring you along for the journey, and so that you can enjoy watching these tumbling toms grow. And I can't hardly wait to have fresh tomatoes. I saw my brother's garden yesterday, and it's just beautiful. And boy, oh boy, it makes me hungry for some fresh sliced tomatoes and all the other things that comes along with supper time and garden season. So I hope this gives you guys an idea of how easy it is to put something in a pot and hang it in a place, even if you're not allowed to have a garden in your area, and perhaps you might not be able to grow all the things that your family needs to have a well-stocked pantry. But every little bit helps. And also, there's something about working in the dirt and watching things grow that gives you a sense of peace and a little bit of joy in knowing that you're doing everything that you can. And so I hope you guys will try this. Get you, if you have to, go to the store and buy you a tomato plant and pot it up. Now, you have to be careful what you get. You might try to find something that's going to easily tumble over the sides, or that's a short. I do have a mini bell tomato that I'm going to plant in just a flower pot. It only gets about that big, and it's just another little thing to sit by the rocking chair and enjoy watching it grow. It's a determinant. All the tomatoes will come off at one time, so you'll probably see that growing along with these this summer. And we're excited for the process. I hope you guys are doing all you can where you're at, growing what you can, and enjoying seeing things grow. Till next time, guys, I love you. I really do. You didn't say much, Cheyenne, on this video. I just chatted away. I'm sorry about that. Are you excited?
Yeah.
She likes tomatoes, and I think she's going to enjoy this.
First season of halfway knowing what I'm doing.
Right. This season of growing. It's kind of new to her. She was had emergency. She went into early labor with little Rowdy last year, and was in the hospital with him for a month in the intensive care in the NICU in St. Francis. So she missed out on a lot of the garden season. We actually all did, because while we were gone, the garden kind of burned up with all of the heat and the drought. And so she's looking forward to this year. She's got a heavy schedule with that and mothering and going to school. But so maybe gardening will be her time to relax. And I've got her drinking coffee just a little bit, so maybe I can get her out in the garden early in the morning, and she can take some deep breaths and enjoy that beautiful honeysuckle that's blooming right now. Oh, it smells so good and fresh in the mornings with that. We have we don't. Our neighbors has a whole row of honeysuckle growing on their fence line. And this time of year is some of my favorite time, with those precious, cool mornings that we have right now with the honeysuckle blowing in. And we enjoy that quiet time before the boys get up for the day. So anyway, guys, this is Josie and Cheyenne. Keep working well to the ways of your household. Until next time, get your garden on. We're gone.